Welcome back. So, we got another little interesting rip here. So, this is 1993, the Ted Williams Card Company. So, the Premier Edition, 1993. So, basically, it's the first year that they put out a product. So, there should be a nice mix of vintage ball players. Which, again, these are just kind of fun products for me. They're dirt cheap. I think this box was $20. Certificate of authenticity. If only that was signed by Ted Williams himself. That would be nice. That's an interesting little relic of this particular time period. So, yeah, I don't know exactly what's in these. We're going to discover that together. I remember the cards vaguely. Spawn, Buddy Bell. There are some. So Juan Gonzalez. So yeah, there's some of the players from today. Monty Irvin, Billy Williams. Just going all different types of directions here. Satchel Paige. Juan Gonzalez again. And then like little discs. It's a Negro Leagues player. Campy. Basically, I'll probably pull out PC and inserts, best I can tell. Babe Ruth. Bud Harrelson. Say Hey Kid. And Brooklyn and the Browns. Oh, getting some repeats already. Babe Ruth. Ashton Stone. Clemente. That's an insert. Yeah, they're decent cards. I mean, again, don't expect to find a big hit or anything, but they're decent cards. Yeah, there's a whole Juan Gonzalez sequence in here. In this set, I've already hit a bunch of Juan Gonzalez. He was, if I remember correctly, the reigning AL MVP. But there's the inaugural season for the Rockies and the Marlins. Juan gone again. Willie Mays. I think we saw this pack before. Another Willie Mays. Rysdale. Yeah, Barrett and Campanella. That over to the PC one. I don't remember how big this set is or checklist. So that's the Women's Baseball League from World War II. Philadelphia Stars. Satchel Paige. Josh Gibson. Another checklist. Oliver. So Etched in Stone, Clemente again. Ty Cobb. Garvey, I have someone that wants him. I think for someone that PC's Ted Williams, this actually might be just grabbing one of these boxes or one of these packs would probably be something nice to add to the collection. So those sketch card thingies. Gilliam. Davison Foster. Yeah, so like Ted Williams PC guy or gal, whatever. Yeah, that might be a nice little thing for them to have. Yeah, throw one of these sealed packs in a really thick top loader. Campanella. Raja Hornsby. And there's Dottie. Larry Doby. I'll say I do like the design of these cards. It doesn't seem like they just rushed a product out, which is nice. So they put the decent little Ted Williams logo, which was, major marketing ploy, but hey, it's okay. Every company does it. But they used really nice pictures. The base kind of player cards. They put the action photo in the background. Some are sticking, some are not. It's actually not too bad. Holtzman. Teddy Ball Game. Get some of this giant stack together. Campanella. Juan Gonzalez checklist. Juan Gonzalez collector. This is something you might want to pick up on the cheap. Got like 5 or 6 cards you can pull of his. Chance. Dave Kingman. 93 Bagwell. Dawning of a Legacy. Yeah, I called that one right. There's a whole Bagwell subset in here. Johnny Bench. Insert. I'm sure there's inserts I'm missing. Dave Dravecky. The Big Cat, Johnny Mize. Before Andres Galarraga, the original Big Cat was Johnny Mize. Just like before Hank Aaron, the original Hammer and Hank was Hank Greenberg. Say hey, kid. Joe Torre. Now, Joe Torre's an interesting one. I'm waiting for him to get on the Veterans Committee, for his name to appear for consideration from the Veterans Committee. Because, yes, he's a Hall of Fame manager, but he was a Hall of Fame caliber player, too. People forget that. So, the Ted Williams cards, I believe, only lasted for 2 years. So you have 93 and 94. I don't believe they made 95. So 93, which is what this is more of a slick finish in the Bagwell to the cards. Whereas '94 was like a complete matte finish. It was almost like, I'm trying to remember, Fleer, I believe it was 96 or 97, I can't remember which. Just had that complete, like, no gloss whatsoever card. And I'm pretty sure they took that off of the Ted Williams set from '94. So this isn't the biggest set, so obviously we're getting a lot of doubles, a lot of triples, you know. But in many cases, you know, you're getting some quality doubles, triples, etc. Because you do have quite a few Hall of Famers in this particular set. So like that's a very, like, for base, that's a very nicely done Johnny Bench card, in my opinion. You know, a little in the background photo, and the photo in the foreground of him applying a tag. Like, that's a quality setup on a card. And just how it was set, the picture selected as well. Garagiola. Tony Perez from the Reds. Branca. Excuse me. will say the one thing about doing, sets such as this is it is a bit repetitive. There's another Clemente insert. Campy. So it's a very repetitive break, but again, I'm enjoying seeing some different cards, and again, I didn't pay much for this box, so again, this might have been, I have another box because it was a 2-box lot, but it might have been 10, maybe 15 bucks. Joe Morgan Reds. We are getting to the end. I may have to move this giant stack back. Peta. Garvey. Yeah, we're gonna take this stack and move it on back. Way up there. This is taking up a lot of room. If you hear that thumping in the background, that is some work that's being done down the street. One of the downfalls of being in the city, but what are you really going to do about it? Oops. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of packs left. Rich. Same Campy again. Don't know how Boa made it in the set, but he's there. Some of these Ted Williams sets, I kind of wonder how much Ted Williams actually, how much input he actually had, rather than just saying, he was never one to say, here's my name, use it. He was a very hands-on type of guy. So it makes me wonder how much involvement he had in some of these. There's one of the Reds cards again. There seems to be 3 insert sets. You have the sketch type cards. You have the Reds, and you have Clemente. Doesn't seem like any of them are really that big of a sets, but then you have a bunch of little subsets within the regular set. If I remember correctly, this is probably one of the earlier, I can't say the first because I'm not certain of it, but at least one of the earlier sets to recognize a lot of the incredibly talented individuals from the Negro Leagues. I mean, you have Satchel Paige, who arguably could be the best pitcher who ever lived. because records weren't great at that time in the Negro Leagues. We really don't know, but he had quite the reputation, to say the least. And then you have guys like Josh Gibson, who supposedly hit, I think it was over 80 home runs in one season. Which, if he did, that would be absolutely insane. And those are just the two that I know off the top of my head, because I honestly don't know a tremendous about the Negro Leagues. I know of a lot of the great players, but I couldn't kind of give you any details on a lot of the great players. Two more packs to go. George Foster and the Reds. I'm pretty sure that this is the only representation of, or the earliest representation of, the Women's Baseball League in baseball card form. Another Clemente. And that's what we got. So, got a few PC items. Got a lot of base. Just these two stacks. Got these little disc, one per pack things. Next to just has logos and a few scattered players, but mainly just team logos, both of MLB teams, of Negro League teams. I believe of some of the women's baseball league teams. I'm not 100% sure. So yeah, there's quite a few of them there. Had some inserts, which are the Clemente set, the sketch set, and the 75 Reds set. Got some cheap PC things, which I'm pulling aside. A couple cards for a friend of mine. And so that is a box break of 93 Ted Williams. So, interesting little break. It's a cheap break. There's Ted Williams' Hall of Fame speech in its entirety. Compare that to what some of the guys do now. He had a huge impact on the acceptance of a lot of the Negro League players in the Hall of Fame. So, kudos to him for doing so. So, that's 93 Ted Williams. One of the forgotten sets from the 90s. So, I hope you enjoyed this inexpensive break. It was a fun one for me. Because I remember the cards. I didn't remember the packs. It was just fun to do. So, and again, really inexpensive. So, hope you enjoyed it. Hope you had a little bit of fun with me looking through, I guess, technically what's a vintage product at this point. Please remember to collect what you enjoy what you collect, and don't let anybody, especially the market, dictate that to you. Most importantly, have fun. This is a fun hobby if you let it. And figure out how you want to enjoy it. Whether it's making videos, it's watching and commenting on videos, buying and selling even, going to card shows, going to your LCS, talking with friends and family. There's a multitude of ways to expose you to the incredibly diverse community that we have. And it's incredibly diverse and generous community that we have. So, I hope you have a good one. Hope to see you next time. And bye for now.